Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another exciting installment of Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York, Cooking with Shanlo. Shanlo is basically cooking up a fresh salmon and shrimp. The help of the kid, with the help of the can that he, asked, well, aka begged nicely, to provide him with the ingredients and stuff. He's making a nice meal and everything started with his little fryer that he got, making everything little portable heat grill, and basically he got like a "Don't Kiss the Monk" hat that somebody made for him. It's made out of paper, and basically you could smell the aroma. He's making that, and he's also making crawfish and stuff. And he's looking at a book very intently and stuff. A little rice on the side. And it's at the training grounds.
Okay. I mean, Chloe and Simon were just at the training grounds from the scene we just did.
Yes.
So they're probably still there.
Well, I mean, if Chloe smells food this time of day, she's probably going to be hungry. So it's not too hard to follow her nose to go that way.
And so Chloe and Simon will make their way to the food. And he'll approach, and he'll stop. Wait, look at her. Is he wearing a chef's hat?
She'll look a little closer and just kind of be like, I think it's trying to be a chef's hat. But I would call it that if I were you, to him anyway.
What should I? Oh well. And he'll shrug and keep moving.
Basically, you smell the aroma getting stronger, and basically he asked one of the cans to put the butter where the crawfish crock pot is and make sure you stir it. He's like giving instructions, looking at the book, passing it around. It's like one other can there, like she's helping him cook. He tastes a little bit. He's like, that's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh yes. And basically, when he see Chloe and
Simon or whatever.
he'll wave at him.
Oh, you cut out.
Well, he just basically said you in time for supper. Basically, come over, sit down for a spell.
Chloe's not going to complain especially if she can smell crawfish. She hasn't had that in a long time. And she will willingly follow the Cleath's orders on this one.
Yep, he's happy. There's crawfish, something he likes, something just from an island, he loves crawfish. So coming from that island, they love crawfish.
And when you sit down, there's menus.
He'll look at the menu like, holy crap, how much work have you done?
It's crud, by the way. It's just made out of parchments and stuff that he used for his tables.
That's a lot of work, Shinlo. Congratulations.
The can helped me. They helped me a lot. For the cans. And basically he turns around and gets back to cooking. Dinner will be done in about, give it about 15 minutes. I've been starting ever since I sung my one tail. So so you can sit down and basically points over to about like 5 2-liters Mountain Dew, and basically you just see a pot of tea basically brewing from his tea set.
Oh yeah, Chloe will will go get herself some tea. That's definitely her preference of all this stuff.
Have a look at what's on the menu.
What's on the menu is basically butter garlic crawfish, Cajun style crawfish, and salmon, and basically sweet southern Cajun rice with crawfish and cream on top.
Like look at it, like licking his lips. Oh, sounds amazing.
Oh, just tell me which one you want. I'll start whipping it up. Turn back around and start stirring and looking very attentively at the cookbook, like just focus, making sure like he put in the exact amount, basically. And that's when others can enter in.
I see that hint. I will accept your hint. 10 Point will lumber in somewhat belatedly, potentially having intended to come around all the same, as she is taken to lingering now and again in Shinlo's company. It might be a marked thing that she, in fact, appears after a little shimmy through the gauntlet in Krynos. But then again, the training grounds are veil protected, and, well, this is her natural form. As such, she kind of lumbers her way in, moving quadrupedally, regardless of the fact that she could easily do so bipedally. And she will be heralded with the merry little jingle jangle of the bells bound to her antlers.
Shinlo will basically see 10 Point and raise his hand. Hello, 10 Point. Come to join us for dinner time. We have a good menu, a good selection, ready to fill the soul with good meal and soul food cooking. And basically, he just basically Southern style cooking. Good library book indeed.
And when
as I say, thank God for the kinfolk.
And when the hand is lofted, she'll pick her head up to kind of pop her muzzle up and just a wordless sort of reply. And as she comes near and sees the others are hanging about, and that there is someone here besides kinfolk. These are Guru. These are people. She'll offer a bob of her muzzle to Grants, just kind of as she's ambling up. And once she gets within that, that invisible line that we all have for higher ranking Guru, she will casually go about the process of just kind of tucking one of her big paws and rolling onto her back.
Chloe will just offer sort of a half smile and that very casual way of just sort of waving her like this, like that's fine. Which is normally what she does. 10 Point has to know that by now.
Mm-hmm. 10 Point has familiarized herself with all sorts of gestures that mean get the fuck off the ground. Jesus.
Yeah, that would be one of them. So yeah, she just sort of casually waves her to get up. Honestly, if she could stop 10 Point from doing it, she would.
And she will just as readily roll herself back up. This is a familiar enough position to be in, so yeah. She rolls herself back up, gives her big shaggy body a shake, sending up a bit of dust and shaking off a decent little carpet of dead leaves before offering, instead of a bow of head, kind of the upward tip of head to the both of them. Good afternoon, Raya and Yuff. And Yuff.
Wow, lots of Yuffs. Have a seat.
I forgot I was muted. But yeah, hello, look, it's about good afternoon, 10 Point.
Have a seat and join us. Would you like some tea?
I think I would, Raya, yes.
Chloe will actually gesture for her to sit and go over to get her a cup of tea.
And 10 Point obediently follows the gesture and settles near to the table. She doesn't get too close just because she takes up a certain amount of real estate. And she hunkers down and realizes what Chloe is doing, and there's the kind of comical expression of no, essentially. It's just the I should do something about this, but rank, but no, but rank, but no. So yeah, there's like some comical conflict that takes place. Though in the end, when Chloe does come back with a cup of tea, she will accept it politely with a bow of head, and somehow manages to do this with giant Krynos paw.
Yeah, like Chloe literally did that on purpose. That was exactly why she did it. She had a feeling 10 Point was going to flip out.
She doesn't quite flip, but I imagine that Grants and Shinlo definitely have the opportunity to see her do, the confused dog face, where like the ears twitch to uneven levels, and there's like a head tilt this way and a head tilt that way, and like a "to fuck" kind of expression. Though by time Chloe rouses to come back, she will school herself down some into a more just very patiently, obediently sitting where she was told to expression. Nothing happened. Absolutely nothing. You heard the jingling.
It was good to comment on it either way. She was doing it kind of to make the point that she has her own points to make. I'm sure we all know that. So yeah, she did it, and she will set it down. Then she'll sit back down herself with her cup of tea, all without commenting and hopefully not showing expression that this is anything out of the ordinary.
So I'm smiling a bit at the 10 Points reaction to asking for tea if she wanted tea, and he'll smile, and then he'll turn to Shinlo and he'll order the first one. The first one was like with garlic and stuff, right?
Oh yeah,
Garlic butter.
Yeah, garlic butter and basically Cajun style crawfish with rice. And basically, you'll see Shinlo open up 2 pots, and basically he takes the rice, put it in there, put a little seasoning on top. Then he takes like this cream that's basically already got chunks of shrimp, and just put it on top of it. Then he'll add it off with the crawfish, basically, like just get some tongs and basically get like a bunch of them put on top, and then just hand it to him, and then just hand him a bowl, a good hearty bowl.
Thank you. And he'll take the bowl, serve himself a cup of tea. And Rick, so how have you? Well, I was just with Chloe, but how have you two been? I still look to 10 Point and Shinlo.
And he'll wait for 10 Point to speak.
He does that thing where he just tucks a little harder into his cooking, so she knows that she has been left to fend for herself.
Yeah, pretty much. He's got to make sure that the seasons is just right, so he's testing.
And she, again, if only because there's there's got to be at least a good 13 to 18 years of practice being in this shape. She is somehow managing to delicately hold this teacup in giant paw. And we'll glance across. I do fairly well, Yav. I look forward to ending some nasty business and having things a step closer to what might be considered normal.
Which nasty business do you mean?
She pauses to actually consider her words this time before speaking. There is a particular figure that haunts my packmate, haunts my Raya. Things should improve once the source of his distress is dealt with.
I see. I guess I didn't know about any of that.
It does seem to be somewhat of a personal nature, Raya.
She nods. At the same time, I do have curiosity.
No.
Raw curiosity.
Are we set up somewhere?
I threw it a
Yes.
werewolf.
Werewolf?
Yes, I've been making rolls.
He has. Like a jerk.
Sneaky,
With your roll
sneaky.
perception alertness there, buddy?
No, that's actually throwing a little plain paper, Chloe, from the bushes.
Throwing it at Chloe?
Yeah.
Okay, well, her curiosity is piqued a little, but she's not going to ask questions. Once she's told it's personal, she nods and accepts this, even though she would like to hear more. And it's exactly that point, just perfect timing to distract her, that an airplane apparently is thrown at Chloe. She's not going to avoid it, but does it actually hit? Like,
I mean, I put it at 8, difficulty 8. So yes, it landed.
okay, we'll just say it hits her in the head, just because that's the easiest target, really, when people are moving.
Yep.
And so she's like, "What the fuck?" And she kind of reaches up to try to grab this plane, but it started to fall, so she's like scrambling, trying to catch it before it hits the ground.
Shinelo just gonna turn around with his wooden spoon and look around, holding it out like, Oh, and then just get back to cooking.
The abrupt what the fuck makes 10-point reel back a little bit, like, shit.
But you can see quickly that she's like trying to grab at something white that's kind of slowly falling to the ground.
Doing the flaily paws after it, because they always move in just the wrong way, so like, you should have snatched it. You should have, but son of a bitch.
Yes. Except that I'm in Hamid, so it's flaily hands, but it's the same idea. Yeah, so eventually, after like a whole bunch of really awkward grabbing at it, she will grab a hold of this paper, which is probably quite crumpled, and she's going to open this thing up. Does it say anything, or is it just a random airplane?
No, it says cat frogs have feelings too.
She sighs very loudly and looks around for who she thinks is nearby.
I'm coming from the opposite direction because I made that stealth roll.
Okay.
Raphael is just gonna walk. Well, I do smell food. That sounds amazing.
And I think everybody would like to hear your stories of frogs. As she
I
looks
don't
down
know what you're talking about.
Oh, come on. You think you're a Galliard, right? Do it. She's totally grinning, by the way.
Okay.
This is not actually a rebuke. It's actually her grinning at him like it's a joke.
Simon is smiling. No, clearly, you're not getting it.
He gets on the table.
Ragabash. And he'll smile. He's a ragabash. He's making us think he thinks he's a Galliard.
Actually, it's on the table, and she quickly snatches her teacup so it cannot get squished by his feet.
So you want to hear a story about cat frogs?
Oh, I would love to hear it.
Tell us a story about cat frogs. Please.
Cat frogs are disgusting. End of the story. Thank you.
Yeah, you're not a Galliard.
Oh yes, definitely.
I give
the best Galliard ever.
I give this story. I give the story a 5 out of 10. It equalizes opportunity. I see potential.
I mean, is it a story?
I mean, he told it with some type of finesse and grace.
I mean, I'm just bored.
Do not worry. Join us.
Yeah.
Join us.
he no, stop, don't you dare. And yeah, he's gonna sit as he just show show throat. It's always a pleasure to meet you.
I assume that's to me,
Yes.
because all throat should be shown to me. I'm just kidding. And she'll just kind of grin at him and sort of wave it off. Get up here, have a seat. There's some tea and apparently Mountain Dew over there.
That's highly heretical, but no offense.
Talk to him. He's the chef and the person who has created this lovely dinner.
Well, oh, he will look. He'll basically will get this canister out. You said you liked it coffee, right?
I do like coffee.
And basically he'll pour some, and then use that little heater to heat it up on one of the owls that's out there, and just heat it up and give it to him, and then gives him a handful of like restaurant sugars and stuff.
It's okay, you don't need to hand me sugar. I take my coffee black, just like my tribe. Forever like yours.
Of course.
Oh my god.
As he
Oh my god. She just like totally like does this very visible face palm.
Shinlo would just start laughing and basically like, look at a menu of what would you like to eat today.
And he looks at Shinlo with a very serious face, and he takes the menu, open it, doesn't look at it, close it, put it back on the table. Surprise me.
He would just start laughing maniacally. Of course. Let me show you a little freaking. And basically, he will start preparing. You can smell the salmon from all the way over there. Making sure it's brown on both sides. Putting a bunch of seasoning on it and stuff. Then he'll start chopping it up till it's a little bit of pieces, and then he'll basically put it on top of the rice, and then just get this reddish powder and just start like putting dashes on it. Then he'll take of this like red cream basically from one of the other pots and basically just spread it all around it. I call this the Cajun Deluxe. See, that one of folks taught me about. Try it.
I will.
That looks really good, actually.
And yeah, he's gonna have a taste, and I'm not gonna be that asshole and ask you like, make me a roll of performance cooking. But he's gonna chew on it. So you're making this very hard for me with your apron.
Oh, I was just preparing the meal. Also, it's a very good meal if you want to. It's been learning to cook, been looking at the cookbook very intensively, and it's rich with flavor, different spices.
Bringing the nation together with food. That's an interesting concept.
Through tales and through food, you can always restore the spirit.
That's
10
deep.
point.
10 Point has had a lovely case of the my. What a nice cup of tea this is this entire time.
He basically like gives her a bowl.
And she will accept it gratefully.
They give Chloe one, and they give a Grant another one because hearty Aroons need to eat.
Thank you. And he's
I
like,
wonder if the waters. Yeah, you can go.
yeah, he's been training all day. He does that most of the day, and this is like a delicious meal. He's eating this like Goku style, and just like blah 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 blah.
He will basically at one of the can and bow to like.
I also think that
Please
Murder
forgive.
Hobo would be a great good addition to this meal.
Bad. He will bow to one of the can and basically be like, "Man, you go please get the water so he can have something to eat. And he can join us and congregate with the brothers and sisters of the sect." She'll nod and be like, "Oh, you didn't need to say that." Just go the other way. And get the water.
To enter the scene. I see. Should join. Stop.
You find Murder Hobo with 5 other Bonars, and they're having fun right now. So, who is going near Murder Hobo?
I believe he sent
I
info.
kinfolk.
The kinfolk comes back. He says, "I apologize, Raya." Let's just make this guy the kinfolk. I apologize, Raya. Seems the Warder Raya is busy doing educating the Bonars about the how you treat a menace.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Interesting. I should
It seems 2 Shuttle Lords parted now. What was the name of that? I'm sorry, I'm being dumb today. What was the tribe that hates the menace the most?
My, what a
I
nice
know.
cup of
Just gonna
tea
be
this
silent.
is!
Oh, I'm jiggling. I'm jiggling absent-mindedly on the bell.
He doesn't say that. What he says like, 2 people just beat a menace, and it seems Murder Hobo was in a bad day today, so he decided to give them a lesson. And now he teaches the Bonars how to treat a menace for no reason. You didn't hear me saying that, though.
It's okay. Grab something to eat. I will go to the water.
Okay. He
And
stops and starts eating.
Shenlo will go to the water.
It takes time for you to find a Warder. When you go near him, you see like a couple. He is like standing there with the 2 other Bonars, and he's giving them a speech.
Shenlo will basically get down on his hands and knees and basically bow and wait to be acknowledged.
I can get up. This is no PTSD. This is no PTAD. Get up. What do you want?
Of course. And wait till he be addressed again until he gets done making his speech.
He says like, "This is not PTAD. What do you want?"
Right, I was wondering if you would care to join some of the brothers and sisters of the sept. We're congregating. We're enjoying a meal.
You see, there is 2 guys whose mouths and the hands are tied behind their back, and he says, "I'm busy."
Of course, when you're done with them, when you're done delivering your punishment unto them, you're more than happy to join, including your brothers. And if they're hungry, they can join as well if they're permitted to eat. I thank you for allowing me this time, and may the Emerald Mother be with you. And basically, just walk the other way.
He says, "Hey, stop. Come back."
He'll come. He'll just basically go up there.
He kind of comes near you, and he comes in your personal space. And he looks at you in the eye, and he says, "Did you just call me Raya?"
Boss.
Yes, I did.
The guy near the murder hobo was this guy, kind of like, "Murder hobo, please. I think you didn't tell this guy not to call you Raya." And he looks back the guy, looks at Shinlo, and he says, "Did I told you not to call me Raya and call me boss?"
I am so sorry, boss man. I'm so sorry, boss. That was.
Did
And
I
he'll basically.
tell you to tell me Raya, not to tell me Raya and call me boss?
uh,
Yes.
I made a. Yes, you informed us many a times, and I am ignorant.
Okay, Shinlo, you may leave. Yeah, go on, fuck off. Are you running?
He walks, basically turns around and do the monthly walk.
While you're leaving, you hear the voice like, someone saying, "Don't shoot him now. Just don't shoot him from the back, please. The guy won't do it again. I know this guy. He's legit. Don't do it." And you hear someone taking a deep breath. And yeah, you go back to the place where you were eating with your friends.
And basically, you'll see sweat on basically his apron. He'll take the apron off. It was sure hot.
Maybe it's too much of that Cajun seasoning.
Yes, it is. Yes, it most definitely is. How's the dinner? How's everybody enjoying themselves?
What happened? You're smiling.
The warder will be. He may or may not. He is taking care of warderly business.
Sounds like you're having the greatest time of your life.
Oh, I mean, I do not know what you're talking about. And he's going to roll performance. Performance, charisma.
Subterfuge, you mean? If it's a live thing?
He's going over the top. Performance.
If he goes performance, yeah, that.
It's not necessarily convincing, but it might be distracting.
Actually, what performance do you have? Because you have to choose something for that.
Yeah, that's true.
I just got performance 3.
You have to pick a performance specialty, and you can only roll for that one thing.
Yeah, I still don't always say it, but you have to pick a specialty.
Well, it'll be storytelling.
Okay, then that probably wouldn't apply here. I would go with something.
So I just roll.
Yeah, I would talk to an ST to get that fixed. That's what Chloe has too.
Okay. So he just only got one of that. So yeah, I got. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Tell us your feelings.
Oh no, the The
Great
warder was
sister.
just doing some duties. He was doing some duties, putting discipline, putting the smack down on somebody. Treat your brothers and sisters to the set. That is the lesson right there. And it's that he points his chopsticks up in the air. That's the lesson, everyone. Treat your brothers and sisters the way you would like to be treated. Gaia don't like ugly. The Emerald Mother don't like ugly.
He's laughing.
Raphael is gonna nonchalantly pass a card to Shinlo. When you want lying lessons, you just call me. And he winks.
Thanks, Shinlo. So on a scale of 1 to less gruesome.
Well, let's just say he was like always, Murder Hobo Right is always on 10, but this time he was kind of on 11. So yeah, he was stopped him from busting the cap in my back. So as they say.
So he was on less gruesome.
Okay. Oh yeah. Anyways, as he starts, may we say prayer for the meal. Is all of us in agreement?
Of course you have.
His head. Thank you, Emerald Mother, for this bountiful meal as the sisters and brothers of Gaia and of the Sept is coming together to congregate with each other. Thank you for blessing us with such a meal and to appetize our soul and replenish our spirits as we prepare for the battle against the worm and to restore the balance to the triad. This food let us all get to know each other in the eyes of the Emerald Mother. Thank you and bless. And basically, he'll hold out his fist. Mother, we say, thank you. Now, I have something I need to tell you.
Oh boy. Are you getting engaged with the cooking grill?
No, it's something I think you probably heard about it, Chloe Ryo, about the former Tales singer.
May have heard a rumor, but I would like to hear more.
Well, basically, I heard that something happened to the former Tales singer. Something really sinister and some act. I do not know the rest of the details, but when I asked to understand the full stories of it, some say go to the keeper of the land. Basically, I was wondering if and somebody you want would like to help the Galliards out on this. And
Yeah,
with your
what makes you
tribe
believe
name,
this was sinister in some way?
do you believe not Kemp, my bad. Would you believe that Guru could choke on a piece of food?
I mean, it's possible, but it's awkward.
Not likely that it would last through the inevitable frenzy.
And
Do you know what the Tail Singer's tribe was? Yef.
Saoirse has more details about it. She was going to get the Galliards together. So I'm thinking it was probably someone of your tribe, but I do not want to make assumptions.
And her ears flick back the slightest bit. Doubly strange, then.
If you would get with Saoirse about it, I think a Theurge eyes will be better alongside the Galliards.
I will be happy to lend my aid so much as it is needed.
Yes. Just talk to Saoirse about it, and Chloe Ryan,
I should speak to her.
probably going to have to. Yes.
I'm
Help out any way I can.
I will have word with her.
That is good. I think she is trying to, as her role as Tailstain, she's trying to get to know us better somehow. Know about it, but I am free. You know, she's the Tailsinger, so I'm free at her full disclosure.
Well, you do you.
And he'll look at basically the Shadow Lord Ragabash, and he'll look out. He's not hiding. He'll basically this chin. Stop! Shut up! It just looked like what the fuck?
Ooh, shit!
10-point pins her ears and continues to be very fascinated with this cup of tea that somehow is not empty.
It doesn't look like it's emptying at all. Like, is she not drinking it?
As in, she's kind of nursing it like you see people do it, like with a drink at a party.
Mm-hmm.
She is drinking it. She actually enjoys the tea, but if she like actually drank it at a speed equivalent to her size, she would have just like tossed the lot back into her mouth, like step one.
No, I just meant like if it was starting to get low, Chloe would go get her some more.
Oh no, it's getting low, but it's not gone. Why do you have to hurt me?
Because it's funny, and also because Chloe really doesn't mind. She's the one who did it. Hers is probably low as well. It's probably not like even out of the way. So yeah, she'll probably just go grab the pot, pour herself some, and then just kind of offer to give her some more as well. She won't force you to take it.
And she will. She can't refuse an act of hospitality. She can't do it. So yeah, she will. You know, when the offer is made, we'll palm out her cup politely. Though, her poor heart.
Yeah, she'll pour some more tea in, and then she'll look around to see if anybody else got tea, because I didn't hear anybody else say they did. But if they did, she'll offer to pour for anyone else too.
Got tea.
Okay, then she'll give you some too. And then start walking the pot of tea back so she can come back and drink hers.
Thank you, Ryan.
And basically, while the yelling and all that stuff happening, you just gonna hear Shinlo just singing the Old Town spiritual, be like, "I was born by the river." Basically, while that yelling stuff happening. Die.
Well, you're certainly happy.
And are you happy, Raphael?
I'm not sure. It's still a pending question.
I was gonna say, I mean, you did survive yesterday, so that's something.
Yes, I'm happy. Totally not sarcasm.
It is not my fault. It is not my fault that their idea of hospitality is sorely lacking.
What happened? I may ask.
There may have been a severe lack of hospitality when we went to visit some new friends.
I mean, that's putting it mildly. Then
New
again,
friend?
Friend is also a very, very mild word, when the actual word might be sworn enemy from their end.
I mean, the more accurate description is that cousin that you knew when you were very young, and you've been an asshole to that guy, and he hates you.
And so is your entire family for your entire life, and for their entire life, and for the generations before that, apparently.
Yep.
Sounds like some bad relatives. Who are these frenemies?
Well, cat people.
No,
Oh, that's
it's true.
And 10 Point was suddenly very interested in the conversation again. Pardon? Yeah, Raya?
You cat people?
Yes.
We talked to Bistat yesterday.
Shenlo would just get up abruptly from the table, run to basically his pack, and basically get his notebook, get his reading glasses. About that, what did you see?
Well, most of what I saw was the very sticky insides of a well that were very difficult to climb up of. That's most of what I saw.
Raya, pardon, I was conversing with my pack. How did you come across the cat shifters?
Through Felix. He knows somebody who knows somebody.
Mostly I wanted pancakes.
There were pancakes. But that was before the well.
Obsidian Claw, Raya?
Yeah, I believe that's the name he said.
And you were received poorly?
Well, Obsidian Claw was the person who sent us, or something?
I mean, from what I guess, that Alam sent Felix on a goose chase to get killed by this tiger guy.
Yes, that seems to be about the basics of it.
Sabotage.
It was, basically.
I don't know that I would
Sabotage.
assume so much, Yuff. We took great pains to earn Obsidian Claw's favor. And were actually, as far as I could tell, regarded fondly for our deeds.
Wow. You
it seems that
actually think they like you?
Not on a personal
No.
level, no. But Obsidian Claw did appreciate the deeds that we did. We went out of our way to aid them.
Well, that it seems they... Well, I mean, he did send us to someone who could help us, I think.
Technically, yeah. Doesn't mean that he didn't expect us to get probably a few scars on the way.
Who
Yeah,
is Obsidian Chief?
Okay, Chloe will actually look when he says claws, or it says scars, she'll actually kind of glance towards his neck. Because if last I heard, he actually has a bit of a nick there from the silver knife. She'll kind of look towards him. I'm not sure if you guys can tell that she's looking at his neck. But she's definitely looking at him when he says scar, which is funny because Chloe has way more scars than him.
10 Point has her fair share as well.
Yeah.
This is interesting. This is most. Who's Obsidian? Basically, he's writing this down.
Yeah, 10 Point sees that whole pencil and paper thing set up and looks somewhat conflicted.
From what I got, it's a Balaam.
Do not worry.
What? You cut off.
Oh, my bad. He said, "Do not worry. I'm just chronicling." When he see 10 Point's face, I'm just chronicling.
It might not be best to, but I don't know. It is what it is.
It is more that this is a very fledgling relationship that we have forged with Obsidian Claw, and I would not want it done sabotage if too many were in the know and formed opinions of their own based on the past. You've been taking pains.
Do not worry about me.
Well, at this point, I would say it's not a very good relationship.
Oh, okay, of course, and he'll be right in. Thing. Do not worry, no tales will not be sung about this. This is very confidential information, and I keep these books safely close within thy heart. And basically, I'm just chronicling interest.
And yeah, 10 Point looks moderately perturbed. Not particularly at anyone there, just in general. I should have been with you, Raya. I apologize.
Why? That this was assigned to the Striders and Felix, who had the information.
Felix and I earned that information together.
Okay. I mean, as I understood it from the howl that I heard, that it was assigned to just us and him. So I didn't know that you were supposed to be there. I wasn't informed.
Oh no, I was not necessarily intended to be there, but I don't know.
Let us all take this as a lesson. As I did my tale earlier in unity and togetherness, let's all take into account that information and communication is the key and foundation of things. We must communicate with one another if we're doing something, whether we be assigned to a task or not. Let's all communicate as brothers and sisters of Gaia and the Emerald Mother.
Right now, we're talking now. Chloe sort of offers him like a half grin, if you know what I mean.
Communicating is not going to make you go that far.
What
communication is the key, brother.
Action is the key.
Yes, action is the key, but we are creatures of action.
Maybe we can leave this discussion for a little bit later, because I think there's more to say on the other subject. I was just going to say we basically, I think we met one of their kin. Kin bolted off. We followed the kin, and then myself and Felix found ourselves in a hole because we are klutzes. And the others were above. And due to threatening one of us with a silver knife against their neck, he felt the need to do that instead of simply talking to us because he thought that we would simply kill. But a deal was made.
What deal was that, if you don't mind me asking?
He would give information in return for other information.
Interesting. And he's just...
Sure, he has his own interests.
Some old wounds is hard to lay down.
Precisely.
Some
things.
So, yeah.
Also, don't bring up the War of Rage to him, ever.
Of course, wounds run deep.
She kind of casts a side glance, like, did someone, like, that look of, like, who would do that?
Yeah. I mean, it seems like
Chloe doesn't
something...
say anything.
It seems like something you obviously shouldn't do. A bit like when you see a blade that's on a fire and people tell you shouldn't touch it, but it's like obvious.
Some things...
Precisely so, yeah.
It only means that those are things that words cannot concede. Words are useless at this point.
In this case...
So what do you think?
Who does he say that to? I'm guessing Raphael.
Yeah, he wouldn't cut Chloe off. He'll just basically he basically point at with his little pencil. The Shaolin, my bad.
What?
Oh, see, I feel I missed something.
Oh, see, I have not understand what. Like,
What just
Oh,
happened
my
here?
bad. Basically,
what?
basically, Shinlo just said when your character said like basically they want us to do action, he just basically said, "What do you mean by that?" That's what Shinlo said.
I would.
And he looks at Shinlo dead in the eye, and for most of the time he's very happy-go-lucky, but this time he looks dead serious. Words mean jack shit.
He wants to
To
see
tell
Dave.
somebody that, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that my people hurted your people. That's not gonna mean anything. We all know what happened in the past, even among the nation. We all had times when we say, oh, sorry, we're sorry. Saying sorry doesn't mean anything. Only your action will prove that you're sorry.
Agreed, yeah.
Chloe's nodding along with to this, very firmly nodding.
Sorry does not bring back the dead.
Mm. Through one deed, that is true, and it's also through one's deeds you can words can only get you so far. I do agree with that myself.
The rest
Then
of
I was just about to say he just nods and then smile like, yeah, it's been just a few seconds of grim seriousness.
in the end, I think it was as successful as it could be, considering.
Mm.
I mean, you made it back and no one died. And in the Go Nation, that's always a plus.
And they were pancakes.
Okay, then that was definitely a winning mission.
Chloe said that
Sure
with a
doesn't
very
make sense.
strange sort of Chloe said that with a very sort of odd, grim, almost grim tone of voice. You know what I mean? Just like it's a little sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
The coffee tasted like shit.
Oh,
You laugh now. You laugh now. I'll buy you some tea from a fast food. I'll watch your face.
I don't like drinking worm tanked. He'll just smile as he drinks his tea.
Well, then let's hope that you will never do then. As he smiled deviously.
Shinlo, this is really good. Thank you for dinner.
Thank you. I'm always ready to talk amongst brothers and sisters of the nation. I'm always willing to be there and hear tales and also to talk about things that ail us and bother us at times. Table is a representation of that we can speak freely amongst each other, that we can talk amongst each other.
And he'll nod. Dinner is. I agree. Dinner is a good time to talk.
And
People
also
are
dinner.
usually
Sorry, go on, Nelson.
people are usually kind of calmer during when they're no longer hungry or when they are eating. So.
And the heavier the dinner, the better it is if the Arun thinks it's a good idea to start a fight. Gets them slower.
I see that, although at least right now I don't think it's a good idea to start a fight.
At this table, no fights will be started. We get here together. Civil discussions will be said at this table. It's the way of the hospitality that the Stargazer grants us. Just like the Fianna has theirs. They all look to 10 point. We all must respect each other's cultures and the way to do things. To do that, we're no different from the savages.
No different from what?
Savages, he said.
Well, I mean, I think that depends on your definition of savages.
I was thinking something like that.
Savages. My definition of a savage is one who disrespects the culture and religion of someone else. Someone who blatantly does it regard of such a thing. No one who has no tact about themselves. Not even the slightest. One that knows that he is being disrespectful. Those are the savages. Those who has no type of passion that drives them only the destruction of others. Those are the savages. Those who disrespect the Emerald's mother's blessing, those are the savages. And those are the ones that I would lay before and cut them down. Stop, start, eat again.
So pretty much any of the European empires.
Chloe just kind of looks at him.
Yes.
Perhaps we shouldn't open wounds at this wonderful table where no fights can be started.
Not even a foot fight?
I mean, I'm told there can't be fights here. I'm trusting Shinlo.
If you excuse yourself amongst, and that's why the training ground is right next to us. He'll point basically at the training ground. If you excuse yourself from the table and settle the dispute with anyone you have a problem with, there is right there. That is what the training grounds can be used for. Civil with one another. And we can spar and let ourselves tantalize the rage a little bit, but never give in to it. Always have squabbles. To squash them yourself.
That does make for an interesting dinner party. If half of the people are sparring and the other half are eating peacefully at the table, only to take turns when they get mad.
Oh, it used to happen all the time back at my home sept.
Well, I guess we all have a different way of eating.
Yeah, that's true. But with that, I think I should get going. Thank you once more for dinner. It was really, really good. And she will stand and try to figure out where she's supposed to take the dishes? Since
He
we're outside,
will
it's hard to
basically
know this
tell.
information.
Yeah, he'll tell them to sit it like next to the side of him. Basically, that's what he do at night. He usually do the dishes.
She'll carry them over there. I mean, that's fine. She's just trying to do as much as she can, to help in the cleanup a little bit. And then she'll kind of look to everyone and just kind of be like, I will see you guys later. And she'll turn
See
to
you
head
later,
off.
Harry's see you later, Harry's redeeming daughter, Raya. Then he'll smile at her.
I will
That really
definitely
is a
be
long
seeing
name.
you later.
Okay. I caught what Nelson said. What did you say, Damien?
Yeah, he smiles at her and she's like, that really is a long name, isn't it?
Yes.
Raphael said, I will definitely talk with you later.
She will pause at that. Is that a threat? Or do you have business to discuss?
I mean, I heard that according to people, there's not a lot of difference between those two in my tribes.
Oh, right. That's right. In that discussion we had the other day, last I checked, we totally agree on the generalizations of our tribes, right?
Exactly. It's a
So,
simple business conversation.
well, I would speak to you either way. They would just be responded to in different ways. And she'll kind of smirk at him and then turn to walk away. And she'll just kind of toss over her shoulder. Find me tomorrow or whenever you have time.
Okay, I will prepare the ambush then.
She will ignore that and can continue to walk away.
You don't speak a lot, do you, Jiggle?
And 10 Point just kind of lofts one of those little brow spots. Considering the nature of the conversation, yes, it wouldn't have been very productive.
We can always make a subject conversation more suited to you. Yuff.
And the other brow dot rouses up to join the first. And God help her, she actually assumes something of a mischievous expression for all that it's an odd thing to translate into Krynos. Still, it is recognizable as such. And what manner of conversation do you think would suit me, Yelf?
Cat frogs?
I dwell too much on such things already, I'm afraid.
But it is something you can talk.
It is, and there are alternative answers to the problem, but they may be more troublesome than the answer that is at hand.
But you know how spirit works, do you?
I
Don't
should like to
fear,
think
chapter
so.
roll. So here's what I'm wondering. We have a kingdom of cats. I'm not gonna really question the origin of a kingdom of cat. I personally would think that they like to be independent.
Indeed.
They like to do what they do because they're cats. Now, what I'm wondering is, if you can explain to me why there's a whole kingdom court among spirit that seems a little bit too, well, medieval. And probably my question is, are frogs pets?
I would say that there are precious few children in the world who have not chased and caught frogs and kept them at least briefly as pets. Yuff. But you were asking in the right direction. It does seem strange that something that is so uncommon a pet should serve as their king, does it not?
I mean, unless he's a prince dog who got cursed by a witch and he needed a kiss from a queen to become a dog again.
I should much prefer that answer.
So it's the other answer around, and I guess.
The thing one must consider is that spirits do only as they are meant to do. And as such, something like one spirit taking over the role of another is uncommon, rare, even, unless they are meant to have that kind of ambition. And I should think that if King Bragos had the ambition to climb and gather power, he would have continued to do so. But he is a truly Gaian spirit, and he does care for his kingdom, rather than seeking more than to join with the other pet kingdom. He doesn't try to stretch far beyond his means or beyond his purpose. The thing is that he was not, in fact, always the king of the pets. And she kind of pauses.
So
It seemed that it was Guru intervention during the War of Rage that has put him where he is. There was previously a cat spirit that served this purpose, and it seemed that the Guru decided at some point during this war that the Bastet had too strong a hold on the kingdom of pets and intervened. And so while he is doing no ill in his position, he is not the spirit meant to hold it. And so while we can solve this with a political marriage, I wonder more and more if we should not right what we have wronged.
So basically, what you're saying now is that you want to correct an imbalance with another.
I am sure that he originally served a different purpose, and there is some manner of contract, understanding, agreement, or geas that allows him to serve this purpose that was once assigned to another spirit by Gaia. Were I able to find such a thing, perhaps I could undo it, and perhaps give the original spirit, who is certainly reformed in some way or another by now, a chance to reclaim their place. At which point, these troubles would end as well, if only because the King of Cats and Queen of Cats would be far more inclined to work together without the need for another full contract or geas to keep them from each other's throats.
What do we know about the original holder of the title?
Nothing. Not yet.
Except that it was a cat.
I know that the spirit was a cat. I have gone back and seen through the eyes of the ancestors what took place, that he was ousted by this other spirit, to even the influence of either changing race on this admittedly wide brood. One might also consider that it would do us a favor in regards to those cat shifters we have met, should we do such a thing, particularly unprompted by them. Not told that you will get some reward for doing it, but doing it because it is the appropriate thing to do.
Of course, all those is of Gaia. purposes that we serve.
I would prefer that this was accomplished not by removing Bragos forcibly from the position, but in restoring him to his previous purpose. The problem is finding what his previous purpose was and finding whatever Gius keeps him in the one he's in now to see if it can be broken.
That seems a little bit big for you.
So,
I know that I am still a Cleath yet, Yuff, but this is merely because I refuse to outrank any member of my pack. The spirits have sung to me for ages.
I mean, you do you, Deagle. That's your choice. However, from what I see, you're gonna need to do a lot of research. Because, I mean, let's be real. I guess that's a little wild that this guy's in power. I think people previously might have attempted to do the same thing, and yet it hasn't happened. So I guess there's something more to it. Because otherwise, I think the Bastard would have done pretty much a lot, even if they have been, well, nearly exterminated.
And this is true, but then again, his contract is not with them.
But then again, that's assuming that they are not capable of binding contracts with others.
Oh, certainly they are, but King Bragos is no minor spirit, and no small thing to tackle. I think an aggressive pursuit of the matter would end poorly, but perhaps speaking to him or learning more and then approaching him with this offer might work better. I have done good deeds for him as well.
Go on, Mr. Shinlo.
He will pipe up and be like, if anyone can task that's put before them, it'll be in 10 Point. They have been working close at hand to try to figure this out. I have no doubt that my brothers and sisters will get this task done. Be a good and brighter conclusion to this.
How many Fears are working on this?
For the most part, it has been Answers the Call Raya and myself that have spearheaded the work with the Pet Kingdoms. For all that our efforts were in opposite directions when it came to bringing the spirits about, Queen Tibia has chosen myself as her representative, and King Bragos has chosen Answers the Call Raya. I have spoken briefly with Raven's Third Eye Raya on the matter and offered to take her in as a neutral party, perhaps in the hopes that we could do better in these initial talks. All in all, at this point, if we wish the easy answer, both parties are likely to take well to a geas or contract that binds either to be, at the very worst, neutral to the other. And would allow them to marry so that the political influence would allow them to work together against their mutual enemy.
Yeah, well, I hope you're ready for you have a good lawyer. Because you can be sure that they are. Oh, they're definitely gonna work with us with the terms. I think the real problem here with you wanting to restore Bragos to his previous state, I think the real question is, does he want to go back? Because if he wasn't a king, and let's say a simple commoner, or even a baron, a duke, a knight, a squire, a fool, he's now king.
He may have been of a different brood entirely, though, Yath. And power does rest heavy on one's shoulders. I
It
can't
rests
imagine that a spirit would long for any more than their true purpose.
Yes, but you're saying he may have been changed. What tells you that he may have memory of what he used to be, and that he doesn't believe that this has been all his life?
This was not the act of Gaia. This was not the act of some celestial spirit. This was the act of Guru. I can only imagine that it is not a change in his... She kind of struggles for a second. I do not believe that this is necessarily a change of his essence, but rather a contracted change of the purpose he serves. Perhaps a long-term deal or contract.
Hmm.
And at that point, a contract is readily undone. I say readily, perhaps not so much.
Hmm. Perhaps. But it's also true that once you have power, it's hard to let go. Because it's like a drug. Once you taste it, ooh, that sweet, sweet taste of power.
Power corrupts.
Power corrupts. Interesting statement. Would you say that someone who rises to power to defend his people is going to inevitably get corrupted by its power? And that the hero of all days
If he is a good
who
king,
fought to save his kin will be inevitably corrupted? That's really dark, Shinlo. Even from you. He smirks.
if he is a good king, people, then he will be willing to do what is necessary for the goodness of his people and give his throne to someone who is worthy of, and who is originally a part of that said throne. His watch will be at an end, doing his normal duties.
I like you, buddy. You always need someone who sees the good. Because I don't see any good. There's always going to be someone who's unhappy with your reign, whether it's from your people, your nobility, your court, or another kingdom. It's a struggle of power, and no one is happy. And generally, that non-happy side is the one that tries to dethrone you.
A true king do not need a crown. A true king followed by example. A true king is a leader to his people, fallen and beaten and defeated. If a king can stand on his 2 feet and lead his people to a brighter future, within the people, not within one that he sits upon.
A true king leads by example.
I'll be sure to send that message to the Sylphan tribe.
Yeah, Simon's smoking a bit at that.
A true king probably has more suited advisors than we can ever hope to be of.
Ah, and he points to 10 Point. Ah, now you're getting to somewhere.
But it is said, through the mouth of babes come truth.
10 Point looks
Truth.
conflicted on this.
The wise.
Did he use the word "they"?
No, from the mouths of babes, as in from the mouths of children, because that's
from the
usually where
mouth
you
of
get just
babes.
blunt honesty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
From the mouth of bays.
And yeah, and basically he will say, King Solomon had tremendous amount of wisdom in the Christian book, full of parables and all that. But they said King Solomon had immense amount of wisdom, and that he was also able to decipher his words that even the child could understand, and advise even those of such low stature. Wisdom comes and goes through anyone. To put aside your pride and listen, open up your ears and observe, listen to those in need. He'll point to his ears.
Whatever the case, Yafs. And 10 Point will finally rouse up, leaving the cup on the table. I have had no brush with power, and thus cannot speak to it, and how cloying it may or may not be.
Maybe. But probably, if you want to make things move, you should rather seek the advisor rather than the head itself.
Oh, I certainly will. Thank you, Yuff. Your conversations are always interesting and often enlightening. I look forward to the next one. She'll bob her head to Raphael.
He'll nod back. As long as I'm not boring.
Ah, far from Yuff.
You are a good Ragabash, which means you are definitely not boring. Far from it.
He smirks. I could try to get extra boring.
He'll smile, like mischievous smile. I mean, if a Ragabash is ever boring, he's doing it on purpose, and there might be an idea behind his head. There is, well, and he'll smile. Well, then again, I guess there is always an idea behind the head of a Ragabash.
Or the thing is, we don't have any idea, and we just pretend to have one.
Oh, that's what you make it try. Oh, that's what you want the rest of the nation to think. And you already have an idea. You're just not showing it.
But tell me, Shinlo, before I leave, do you know card games?
Card games?
Yes.
I know of. You mean playing cards? I've seen the Bone Arcane playing with cards before.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to know how to play?
I'm a quick learner.
10 Point will take this opportunity to go ahead and amble out with a polite nod to each in turn.
Mm-hmm. And he
Simon will
will
nod.
acknowledge. I'll be.
And he's gonna pass an arm around Shinlo, and just actually fuck that. I definitely know I'm gonna buy vengeance later. But yeah, he gets a card from under his sleeve. I'm gonna teach you a game of liars.
Look forward to this.
A game called Liars being taught by a Ragabash. And he'll smile. I'm pretty sure you have a good teacher there, Shinlo.
I mean, technically, it's just poker.
Seems interesting. I'll be more than happy to come. And I will supply food if need be.
Then let's make a deal. Give me food. I teach you how to play poker.
Deal.
All right, and he will take a deck of cards from his blues, and he will start to shuffle them. Oh, I'm gonna teach you many things, my friend. And I mean, at least for me, I need to go to bed. So unless you guys want to continue, for me, it's gonna be the end of that scene.
Oh, yeah, I was going to end the scene with us playing poker. Trying to attempt to do that.
That poker game.
Okay. So basically, do anybody got anything else they want to do? I guess Simon's joining in with us.
Yeah. Simon might just ask Shinlo if he wants any help with the dishes, or if he wants him to do the dishes while he's being what's his name? Raphael is teaching him how to play cards.
Shinlo will basically be like, I'll take care of it. Just sit back and enjoy yourself. We'll end right there. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another exciting installment of Living Worlds of Darkness, Rage Across New York.